Ever look up at the night sky and just think, is this all there is? Like, what if our universe is just one of, I don't know, countless others?
It's a question that's captivated people for ages, right?
Totally. And now it's everywhere. Movies, shows, everything everywhere all at once. That movie really got people thinking.
It definitely captured that multiverse feeling.
Big time. So in this deep dive, we're checking out this YouTube video from Arjid, and they go deep into the science of the multiverse. Like, is it even possible?
Yeah, they don't shy away from the big questions.
No, they don't. So they start off talking about the observable universe, how far we can actually see out into space.
Right, and it's limited, isn't it? Even with our most powerful telescopes.
Yeah, it's like we're stuck looking through a tiny peephole.
It all comes down to the speed of light. That's our cosmic speed limit. So even if there's more universes out there, and there very well could be, light from those distant places just hasn't had enough time to reach us yet.
So it's like a cosmic horizon, right?
Exactly. Beyond that horizon, who knows? It gets really interesting when you start to think, is the universe just mind-bogglingly huge, or is it truly infinite?
Okay, so that's a huge E difference. Like, my brain can almost grasp really, really big, but infinite. That's a whole other level.
And that's where things get really wild, scientifically and philosophically. The video actually talks about this thing called the infinite monkey theorem.
Okay, I think I've heard of this. It's about a monkey on a typewriter.
Right. So imagine a monkey just randomly hitting keys on a typewriter forever. The infinite monkey theorem says that given an infinite amount of time, that monkey would eventually type out the complete works of Shakespeare.
See, now that's where my brain starts to short circuit a little. Like, yeah, I guess in infinity anything is possible, but come on.
It seems impossible, right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing about infinity. Even the highly improbable becomes inevitable. Now, think about that in terms of the universe. If the universe is truly infinite, and the laws of physics are consistent, and the types of particles that make up everything are finite.
Hold on, I'm starting to see where you're going with this, and I don't know if I like it.
Well, what if somewhere out there's an identical Earth, an identical you and me, maybe even having this exact conversation?
Okay, now that is both freaky and kind of cool. So you're saying my doppelganger could be out there right now, wearing the same headphones, drinking the same...
Coffee.
Okay, you're reading my mind now. That's just getting too weird.
But it's a real possibility if you subscribe to the idea of an infinite universe.
All right, you win. But hold on, because the video doesn't stop there. They dive into this thing called cosmic inflation, and no, we're not talking about the price of spaceships.
No, this is about the very beginning, the Big Bang, but maybe not how we typically think about it. Imagine it not as a single explosion, but more like an expansion that just never stopped.
Okay, so not just a big bang, but a big bang that's still banging.
Exactly. Think of it like a chain reaction of cosmic firecrackers, with each one creating a new, expanding universe. Eternal inflation, that's what some physicists call it.
So infinite universes popping up all the time. This is definitely getting into my brain is full territory.
And here's the kicker. This wild idea of eternal inflation, as out there as it seems, might actually help explain one of the biggest mysteries in physics, the fine-tuning problem.
Right. Like, how is it that everything in our universe seems so perfectly set up for us to exist?
It does almost seem too good to be true, doesn't it? The fundamental constants of physics, gravity, the speed of light, it's like they're all dialed to the perfect settings for stars, planets, and life to exist.
Even a tiny tweak to any of that and poof, we're gone.
Exactly. But here's where the multiverse comes in. If there are countless universes, each with its own set of physical laws, then statistically, it's almost inevitable that at least one of them would get those conditions just right for life as we know it.
So we just hit the cosmic jackpot.
You could say that. From our limited perspective, it seems incredibly lucky, but if you zoom out to the scale of the multiverse, it might just be a matter of probability.
Okay, so maybe we're not special, we're just statistically probable. I can live with that. But here's the thing. Can we even prove any of this? If these other universes are beyond our cosmic horizon, how could we ever hope to find them?
That's the multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? How do you study something that might be fundamentally beyond our reach?
It's like trying to bake a cake in another dimension. You can imagine it, but actually doing it. Good luck.
Exactly. But some physicists think that maybe, just maybe, we could detect the faintest fingerprints of other universes right here in our own, and they're looking to a surprising place. Quantum mechanics.
Okay, so we're officially going quantum. Now things are about to get really interesting. Okay, so quantum mechanics and other universes. I gotta admit, my brain's still trying to catch up.
Yeah, it's not exactly intuitive stuff, but it's where some of the most mind-bending possibilities about the multiverse emerge.
So break it down for me. What does quantum mechanics even have to do with all this?
Well, you see, quantum mechanics deals with the very smallest things in the universe,
Yeah.
way smaller than atoms even. It's the realm of particles, energy, and the fundamental nature of reality.
Okay, and I've heard things get kind of strange down there, right? Like particles being in two places at once.
Exactly. That's called superposition. In the quantum world, things don't behave like the objects we see around us. It's not just that we don't know where a particle is, it's that it can genuinely exist in multiple states at the same time until we try to measure it.
Whoa, my brain just glitched a little.
It's wild, right? Imagine spinning a coin. While it's spinning, it's both heads and tails at the same time. That's kind of what these particles are doing.
Okay, I'm kind of with you, but then what happens? How does it go from blurry possibilities to, you know, something concrete, something we can actually see and experience?
And that's the million-dollar question. When we try to observe a particle, when we force it to choose a state, that's when the superposition collapses and we get a definite outcome.
So it's like the act of observing forces the universe to pick a lane.
It's one way to think about it. But here's where it gets really interesting, and this is where the multiverse comes back in. Some physicists believe that when a particle's superposition collapses, those other possibilities, those other states, they don't just vanish.
Okay, I'm definitely sensing a twist coming here.
They might actually branch off, creating entirely new universes, where those other possibilities become reality. It's called the many worlds interpretation.
So every time a tiny particle chooses a state, it's creating an alternate reality. That's a lot of pressure for something so small.
It's mind-blowing, right?
Yeah.
And it means that every single quantum event that's ever happened, is happening right now, might be spawning off new universes with slightly different outcomes.
Hold on, I'm trying to picture this. So you're saying there's a universe out there where I tripped on the sidewalk this morning, or one where I ordered waffles instead of pancakes.
Think of it less like specific events and more like an ever-expanding tree. Each time a quantum measurement is made, it's like a new branch splitting off,
Yeah.
representing a different possibility. In one branch, you tripped. In another, you walked perfectly fine.
Okay, so infinite branches on the universe tree. Got it. And are all these branches, all these universes, are they like totally separate from us?
That's the big question, and we don't really have a definitive answer. But here's the thing. Even if we can't just hop in a spaceship and visit these other realities, the very fact that they might be out there, that reality itself might be far stranger and more complex than we ever imagined, well, it has profound implications.
So it's not just a fun thought experiment. It actually changes how we view the universe and our place in it.
Exactly. And for some physicists, it's not just about philosophical pondering. They're actually looking for ways to test these ideas, to find evidence of these other universes.
Like actual evidence. How do you even begin to search for something that might exist outside of our own reality?
That's where things get really exciting, because it requires us to push the boundaries of what we know about physics, to develop entirely new technologies and approaches. And you know what many are turning to for this.
Let me guess. More quantum weirdness.
You got it. Specifically, they're looking to quantum computers.
Ah, quantum computers. The
Yeah.
technology of the future? I mean, I've heard the term thrown around, but honestly, I have no idea how they work.
Well, think of it this way. Our everyday computers, they use bits, which are like tiny switches that can be either on or off, 0 or 1.
Yeah.
Quantum computers use qubits, which can be in both states at the same time, thanks to superposition.
Okay, I'm starting to see the connection here. So instead of just 0 or 1, you've got this whole spectrum of possibilities.
Exactly. And that allows quantum computers to perform calculations that would take a classical computer, even the most powerful one we have today, billions, if not trillions of years.
Okay, that's some serious processing power. But how does that help us find other universes?
Well, some physicists believe that these quantum computers could be powerful enough to simulate the conditions of the very early universe, right after the Big Bang, or even peek into the quantum foam where these other universes might be bubbling up.
So it's like using a super-powered microscope to zoom into the fabric of reality itself.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
And who knows what we might find. Maybe we'll see the fingerprints of other universes imprinted on our own, subtle anomalies or patterns that can't be explained by our current understanding of physics.
That's both incredibly exciting and a little terrifying. It's like we're on the verge of cracking the cosmic code.
And it all stems from this fundamental question. What if our universe isn't the only one. It's a question that's driving some of the most cutting-edge research in physics today. Research that could revolutionize our understanding of reality itself.
And even if we never find definitive proof of the multiverse, just the act of searching, of asking those big questions, it pushes the boundaries of human knowledge.
Absolutely. And that's what science is all about. It's about venturing into the unknown, embracing uncertainty, and never being afraid to ask what if. And sometimes those what ifs lead to discoveries that change the way we see the universe and our place within it.
Well said. So we've gone from wondering about infinite monkeys on typewriters to the potential of quantum computers unlocking the secrets of the multiverse. Like, my brain needs a break, but in the best way possible.
It's a lot to take in. But the journey isn't over yet. The video also dives into how this whole multiverse idea has seeped into our popular culture. And it's not just sci-fi anymore, it's everywhere.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, everything, everywhere, all at once. It's like the multiverse went mainstream with that movie.
And it sparked a lot of conversation, didn't it? Got people thinking about these big questions, about other versions of themselves, other paths not taken.
For sure. And I think that's what's so fascinating about this whole topic. It's not just about equations and scientific theories. It's about what it means to be human, to make choices, to grapple with the unknown.
It taps into something fundamental about our curiosity, our desire to explore beyond the familiar and imagine what might be out there, beyond the limits of our perception.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe those imaginings, those what-ifs, will eventually lead us to even more profound scientific discoveries in the future.
Absolutely. After all, the most incredible journeys often begin with a single question, a spark of curiosity, and the courage to imagine beyond the boundaries of what we think we know.
Well said. Now, I don't know about you, but all this talk about the multiverse has got me thinking about some of the philosophical implications. Like, if there are infinite versions of ourselves out there, what does that mean for things like free will and destiny?
It's a question that philosophers have been wrestling with for centuries. But the multiverse throws a whole new cosmic wrench into the mix, doesn't it? I think it's about time we dive into those deep philosophical waters, don't you?
You know, it's funny, we've covered all this mind-blowing science, but this whole multiverse thing, it really gets you thinking about, well, bigger questions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It pushes us beyond the how and into the why.
Yeah.
If our universe is just one of many, what does that mean for our place in all of this? It's a question that, yeah, philosophy, even spirituality have grappled with for, well, forever.
Right. It's like, we're not just asking, is there life out there anymore, but is there every version of life out there? Makes you feel kind of small and huge at the same time.
It's a strange paradox. On one hand, maybe our lives are just one tiny story in an infinite library, but on the other, the potential of existence, the sheer amount of what's possible, it's way better than we ever imagined.
It's like that feeling you had as a kid looking up at the stars, realizing just how massive everything is, but now times that by, well, infinity.
And just like when we were kids, that vastness can be exciting and kind of scary. It makes you confront how much we don't know about reality itself even.
So where do we go from here? If the multiverse is this huge, unknowable thing, do our choices even matter?
That's a question each of us has to answer. But thinking about the multiverse, even if it's just an idea, it can make you think about yourself. It's like, what's important? What choices do I want to make? Knowing our actions, even the small ones, they make up our own universe, you know?
It's like a push to really live, right? Make it meaningful, not just for us, but for this universe or universes we're in.
Exactly. It's about appreciating what we have, this life, but also realizing there could be countless variations out there. Makes you think.
It really does. So, to anyone listening, if this multiverse stuff has your head spinning, that's normal. It's good to sit with these big questions, be curious, and remember that even the smartest people are still figuring this all out.
And who knows? Maybe someday we'll have some answers. But until then, it's about the journey, the asking, the imagining. That's just as important.
I like that. So next time you're looking at the stars, remember you're not just seeing points of light. You're looking at the edge of what we know, at reality itself. Who knows what's out there waiting to be found?
The universe, or maybe the multiverse, is full of surprises.